What's going on, everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com here, back again with another crypto update. Now, we've got a lot of things going on in crypto right now, and as you can see, and as you're probably aware, cryptos have taken a big hit and have dropped quite a bit over the last 2-3 days. We can see just Bitcoin alone in the last 7 days is down almost 15%, right? So definitely a sizable drop here. Ethereum down 16%, Ripple down about 10%. Bitcoin Cash 20%. I mean, there's a lot of 15 to 20% downers here. And what I wanted to say, I'll get more into this later in the video, but I think that it's important to stay level-headed in crypto and in situations like these, because this is the name of the game, right? We have these pretty wild swings in crypto, which is kind of, what also leads to those bigger rewards down the line, I think. But I think there's a lot of FUD going on right now, and this is nothing new. So that's really the point that I wanted to make, because I saw some people that wanted me to obviously give an update on all of this. And the biggest thing I can say, and keep in mind this isn't financial advice, it's just my personal opinion, but once again, I'm seeing a lot of things that we see when there's this fear in the markets, right? Typical FUD. My personal opinion is just to not be afraid of any of this, and take it for what it is. If you saw my crypto update of about a week ago, I believe, I mentioned that I didn't really see anything too major happening to crypto. I saw it staying pretty flat. Obviously, some might say I was wrong, because we did obviously get this sizable drop. But I think that when I'm saying flat and when I'm saying relatively stable, it's within the realm of crypto, right? So Bitcoin isn't going to stay at 2% up and down days for weeks, right? We're in crypto, like, you need to expect these bigger type of moves, both to the upside and downside, because like I said, that's just how the crypto markets are. And relative to everything, right? I mean, this is why I'm zoomed out on the Bitcoin chart right now. Is this really a big deal? I don't think so, right? Is it a big deal if we go down to 5,000? I don't really think so. I don't think it changes anything fundamentally to crypto, right? And that's really what I want to say here is, think about the fundamentals. Think about maybe why you got into crypto in the first place, or the true value behind crypto. Is Bitcoin going from 7,000 down to 5,000 really going to change anything? I don't think so, right? I don't think that's going to change absolutely anything at all. Maybe for the casual investor could get a little bit scared off, but for big funds and people who know crypto better, I don't think that's going to change their perspective at all, right? Do I see Bitcoin going down to 5,000? I do think it's possible. If we look at the chart right now, we can see that we have a symmetrical triangle going on, and it should lead to around 7,400 at the end of this triangle formation, right, where we should either move to the upside or downside. Now, keep in mind, we could also move back a bit higher towards 8,000 in the midst of that, but right now we're very oversold. So obviously, if we zoom back in a bit, we've already started to get a little bit of a bounce. We probably are going to bounce a bit higher, up to 7,500 in the next few days. We could probably get maybe retest 8,000 in the next 2 weeks. I think that is possible. So probably a short-term bounce higher, because we are so extended to the downside right now. But then we're going to stabilize and probably push towards 7,500, 7,400 before really either breaking to the upside, which is always possible for sure, or supposing that there's definitely some sell-off going on right now, we could definitely fall down to $5,000, right? And going to the news, if you've been paying attention, right, there's been the whole story with miner capitulation, which has to do with basically the price of Bitcoin not being profitable for miners, right? Because it costs more to mine a Bitcoin than to actually buy it, and so they're mining unprofitably. That is an issue, but like I said, right, things will balance out. If there's less miners, there's less production, and that it's basic supply and demand, right? Prices will go back up after that eventually. So there's also been a whole story with Binance. It appears that story was basically a smudge story. It didn't seem to be real at all. So I mean, that is typical FUD as well. How many times have we seen straight up fake stories in an attempt to manipulate the crypto markets, right? Time and time again. So if we go over to the charts again, like I said, very well, if there's going to be some fear and some scare, could we drop down to 5,000? Yes. I don't think it changes anything fundamentally. The absolute lowest I think will go if things get really bad is probably 3,000, right? And that would surprise me a bit, to be honest. I think that I don't really see us going lower than 5,000, but if it does happen, not the end of the world. If we go below 3,000, that's when I think things could begin to get a bit more concerning. But right now we're so oversold. We're due for a bounce in the short term, and then from there we'll see, right? We need to see where we move out of this symmetrical triangle. If it is to the downside, probably going to go down to 5,000. However, if we break to the upside, we could get a really strong breakout, because as you can see, let me make this downtrend line a little bit bigger. This downtrend line has been weighing and pushing the prices down for quite some time, right? And the kind of silver lining in that is that when we do break out of this downtrend, we should get a really strong move to the upside. So is the strong move to the upside now? Possibly not. I'm inclined to say probably not with all the fear right now that's going on. But eventually we will break out above this downtrend line, and that's when we're really going to see things, kick up back into hype mode. Right now it's a period of, slowing down and potentially accumulation in the right areas, in my opinion. Now, we're going to head over to Ethereum. And by the way, I just wanted to be clear that I will be continuing to make cryptocurrency videos, as always, for sure. Obviously, I've been making a lot of stock market videos, and I'll continue to do that as well. My goal is just to be the most reliable source in finance, like my intro says. And make sure to leave a like if you're enjoying these videos. Also, subscribe if you're new. So heading over to Ethereum, Ethereum was in this, range, and it broke below that. So it went, below that 155 level, which was pretty strong support. And now we're seeing that MACD curling back up, bounce back above the RSI. Are we going to get above 155? I mean, if we do, there's a chance that we stay back in our range again, which is possible. But I think that this probably means that Ethereum isn't meant to be back above 150 as of right now, right? I think that if we're not able to get back above 155 and stay there pretty sustainably, 120 seems to be our next level, and then I wouldn't be surprised to see a test of 100 here for Ethereum, if I'm quite honest, right? Now, that's right. That's just what I'm seeing right now. We'll see what happens. If things could stabilize a bit, I think altcoins could get a run higher. But right now, if we go back to CoinEcho, everything is dropping pretty much, off the hook, right? I mean, we've got coins down 25%, whether it's altcoins or Bitcoin. These are all getting affected pretty strongly right now. So moving over to Litecoin, and then we'll finish it off with XRP. Litecoin actually getting a nice little bounce at 45, which is good. I'm pretty certain that Litecoin is going to be in a range between $45 and $53. So that's where I see Litecoin trading in this pretty tight range. Obviously, you can see those bounce signals on the MACD and RSI, but I don't think that those bounce signals mean that we're going all the way back up to $70. I think it's just that we're going to bounce maybe back up to 50 and then kind of bounce up and down in this tighter range, like I mentioned. So heading over to our last crypto of the crypto update, we've got Ripple. And by the way, definitely let me know your thoughts on the drop. I want to hear what you guys think, but if you agree with me, let me know. So Ripple here, very strong downtrend that actually created, and as you can see, it has been weighing on the price pretty heavily, kept pushing it down even before this drop, and it's actually pretty flat on the RSI. We're bouncing higher, so I actually like this formation. And we're obviously going positive on the MACD again. But I like the fact that we were already pretty flat on the RSI, and that now we're moving higher, right? I think that means that we're probably not going to go below 22 cents, at least just yet, right? If there's another big drop coming, we could get pushed down to 16 cents. I would not want to see Ripple go lower than that, because that is major support for Ripple. But to be quite honest, if there's any coin that's going to stay pretty stable and bounce, between 22 and 25 or 26 cents, for months, I'm talking, it's going to be Ripple. So is that a good or a bad thing? I can't even really tell, but at least it might not drop like some of the other cryptos, right? If, of course, more fear is what's to come in the medium term. With that being said, this is the end of my daily crypto update. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.